You ask, so I answer. A lot of you guys had the same question, and this question came as a result of watching that one video. It's called uh, Keep Them Out of Your Energy or Get Them Out of Your Energy, something like that. It's this video right here. If you haven't watched it after this video over, you can go and check that one out. But a lot of you guys had the same exact question, and the question was pertaining to how do you deal with pretty much a toxic co-parent, someone that is in your energy, who continues to pull at you or who continues to try and siphon your energy, even though the connection that you guys have is over. And the only reason they feel like they can do this is because you guys have children together. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna tell you is that you're gonna have to become a completely different person. And the way you're going to do this is you're going to change your perspective, okay? And then you are going to implement some changes. All right, let's work with your mindset and your perspective. I need you to remember this. You met this individual and you guys decided to have a child together, okay? Before y'all met, you didn't know them, they didn't know you. You were complete strangers, and the only reason that you guys decided to have a child together, or maybe you didn't decide to have a child, maybe it came as a surprise. Either way, it doesn't matter. The point is, the only reason why you guys are connected now is because of that child. You have to remember this throughout the rest of your life as you are dealing with this person. The only connection that you guys have now is that child. This means that you are a sovereign being. You are an independent person who is able to do what you want, go where you want, say what you want, and behave however you want to. Their entitlement to your energy only exist because, one, you're allowing them to do it, right? You're allowing them to siphon your energy. You're allowing them to step over your boundaries. You're allowing it, okay? And then two, their entitlement to your energy is because they themselves, they have an attachment issue or they have a control issue. They have a problem. But their problems are no longer your problems. If you guys are not romantically involved, y'all not connected, y'all broke up, their problems are no longer your problems. The way they feel is no longer your responsibility. Think back to before y'all got together, when y'all were strangers. You're going to have to revert back to that position, that status, that situation. The only difference now is that you have a human being that the both of you are responsible for. And so that means the only necessary communication that you need to have is about that child. That is it. This includes um, information regarding schooling events or anything pertaining to school. This is information regarding medical situations. This is emergencies having to do with the child. That is it. That is it. Also, some communications pertaining to who's going to pick up the child when, or maybe some appointments that is going on. But anything past that is too much. It's over the limit of what you are supposed to be responsible for at this time. Now, if you have a manipulative co-parent, which you probably do because you wouldn't be asking this question if you don't, or you wouldn't be here, they will try and toe the line when it comes to getting you to communicate with them about the child. Now, remember, your energy is being siphoned, or your energy is being used or collected when you have an interaction. So this means when there's a text message conversation, that's your energy going out to this person. If you talk to this person on the phone, this is your energy going out to this person. Or in person, this is your energy going out to this person. Okay. So the ideal is to get you to give them some of your energy so that they can feel like they still have a hold on you or some type of control on you. So conversations that may pertain to the child but are still outside of the realm of what should be your concern could possibly take place, and it would look something like this. Now, before I go on, go ahead, please hit that like button. Make sure you follow me and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Okay, so let me give you some examples of them using the child or using subject matters surrounding the child in order to get you to communicate with them or to get you to basically give them your energy. Questions that involve mentioning the child but does not have any direct importance to the child. For example, what did he or she eat today? Okay, now if you have younger children, you might feel like you need to answer questions like this, okay? But let me just say, if you have older children, children that can talk and speak for themselves, them asking you what the child ate today is an attempt to pull on your energy, because all they have to do is ask the child. The child can answer for themselves, okay? So this is an attempt to pull on your energy, but using the child as a tool in order to do this. The child is younger and the child cannot speak for themselves. Them asking you what the child ate today is really, it's an unnecessary question. Now, if they asked you when was the last time the child ate, or, something like that, then that makes more sense, because, you know, trying to make sure that the kid is eating on a particular schedule, that makes sense. But to ask something like, well, what did they eat today, is of no concern to them. It doesn't matter what they ate. Because think about it. Let's just say you fed the child pizza, okay? If the parent wanted to give the child pizza again, that's fine. It's okay. That doesn't matter. So they don't need to know what the kid ate. This is an attempt to pull on your energy and to get you to communicate with them so that they can have an interaction with you. Remember that you are not connected to this person anymore. There is nothing that you have to do in order to keep a connection going with this person outside of communicating necessary information about the child. Okay, now that we've got this mindset out of the way, let's talk about the new rules that you're going to be implementing. All right, so you have to create some structure, okay? And in order to create structure, you have to put in new rules, because if this person is being toxic or they're trying to stay connected to your energy, they're going to walk all over your boundaries. Okay. So you have to have some rules and you have to put them in place. And a couple of them you're going to communicate to them, and some other ones you're just going to implement them without even saying anything. The first rule you're going to implement is low access. So low access is when you create a time frame in which this co-parent is allowed to communicate with you, and you will respond to a necessary piece of information or a necessary text message. An example of a time frame that you could possibly implement would be, okay, so if this parent reaches out to me about the child and it's a necessary piece of information that they actually need, I will respond to them between the hours of 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. Any text messages or communication after these hours, I will not be communicating. And if they text me at 7 in the morning, or if they text me at 9 p.m. at night, I will not be responding until that time frame opens up. So if they text you at 9 p.m. at night, you won't respond to them until the next day at 9 o'clock. Or if they text you at 8 o'clock in the morning, it won't get a response from you until after 9 a.m. that morning. This puts controls on the amount of access that they have to being able to reach you or to get your energy. And only after these times or before these times will you respond if it's a complete emergency, like y'all need to go to the hospital or something like that. Anything else, you are not going to respond to it. The next rule you're going to implement is low contact. This means that they are not allowed to contact you other than through text messages. This means they can't talk to you in person, y'all can't have any conversations, and they cannot call you. You will only respond to them through text messages. You can do email as well if you like, but they are not allowed to actually hear your voice or talk to you other than through a written form of communication. This does two things. One, it protects you. Just in case any foolery happens, you have a written record of every communication that you have ever had. Secondly, it puts a barrier between the two of you. It protects your energy, because when you talk to somebody or when you use your voice, that energetic exchange is a lot stronger than just reading a text message. So it protects your energy. This is why you are implementing this rule. And the last thing that I want to say is you have to, and when you're enforcing these, you have to be strict. You cannot give any leniency. You cannot give any grace. You cannot give any mercy. If you do, they will take that inch you've given them, they will take them out. They will walk all over you, and they will perceive you as weak, and then they will go even harder on crossing your boundaries because they feel like they can. And they can because you are letting them. Now, as far as letting them know which rules that you are implementing, you can let them know, hey, don't contact me after 8 p.m. Okay? Or, hey, I would prefer if we only speak through text messages. This is how you let them know the rules. Once you let them know the rules and they try to do more than what you just told them you are allowing, then you'll know for certain if they are trying to cross your boundaries, because a person who's trying to cross your boundaries or control you will send you text messages after or before the times that you have specified, or they will attempt to call you. If they do this, you have to stand your ground. You do not pick up that phone. I don't care what they're talking about. If it's an emergency, they can text you and let you know that it's an emergency. Now, that's if they're calling you and it's actually an emergency. You're not picking up the phone. You following your own rules, and you're not picking up the phone. They can text you, let you know it's an emergency, and then you can have your phone conversation then. That's fine. But any other phone calls and all that, no. Or they text you after the time that you told them was appropriate for you. You do not return that text message. As far as the type of text messages you are returning within the time frame that you have specified, you're going to have to use your own discernment on whether or not this is a text message that you should be returning, or if they're just using this as an attempt to get you to interact with them so that they can have your energy. Now, the one rule that you're not telling them is that you're not responding to messages that are not about the child. You don't have to say that. That's the one rule you'll keep to yourself. Because if you let them know that, they will try and get, they'll try and get creative and start to create scenarios in order to test your boundaries. So that's the one rule you don't tell them, but you just go ahead and implement it. I mean, you can let them know if you want to, but chances are they're going to try and, use a manipulation tactic to get around it. Now, 2 things to remember when you start to implement this. Number 1, follow your own rules. So make sure you're not texting them outside of certain time frames, and make sure that you're only texting them about necessary things about the kid, because they sometimes they try and flip the script on you and try to retaliate is really what they do. It's a retaliation method because they're mad because they can't access you. So just make sure you following your own rules. Secondly, you are going to have to take on the posture that you are a single parent now. You are not going to be able to ask them for things, because more than likely, if this is a toxic co-parent, they are not going to be, they're probably not going to be cooperative. So this means that whatever is wrong when the kid is with you or when the children are with you, whatever is going on, you are in charge. You have to take care of it. You have to have the funds. You have to have the energy, the attention, everything. You are literally going to now be a single parent with a co-parent who you only give instruction to, or you give information to when they are actively with the child or with the children as their own individual single parent. Okay? Well, I hope this helps. Please make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and follow for more. Visit www.GodstyleBilal.com to leave me a tip or gift, and I will talk to you guys later. Love you. Mwah.